Thousands of Georgia teens lose their privilege to drive. Georgia law enforcement is committed to getting dangerous and irresponsible drivers off the road. Here's Saquon Simbaugh and Eric Wingate with a look at those efforts.
Across the state, cops are cracking down on irresponsible teen drivers, and courts are showing no mercy.
If you have a driving ambition, you better be ready to obey the new laws.
Right now I'm placing you under arrest.
I'm going to place you under arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol. Having your driver's license is a privilege. If you can't handle it or you do things that are not responsible enough, we don't need you on the roads.
The driver and passenger were declared dead on the scene.
2 people dead in front, and that pretty much knocked a little bit of sense into me, you know?
This family's loss is just impossible to overstate.
Well, most of the 16-year-olds think they're invincible. They go down the road, and the next thing you know, they have a tree sticking out next to them in the passenger side. Look right back here for me. He was at one of our classes that we taught at Dunwoody High School. Don't move your head. I want you to turn and walk. What I want you to do is take a deep breath. Blow hard. What I'm gonna do right now is place you under arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol. It doesn't appear like he learned his lesson too well. You got anything at all in your pockets, take it out and put it up here. Take your shoes off and leave it sitting right there. The feeling of having your freedom taken away for the first time, not being able to move where you want to go, is scary enough. You might not think we're going to get you, but there's enough of us out here. We're going to get you, and we're going to lock you up.
The docket at Clayton County Juvenile Traffic Court is full today.
All right, some of y'all are gonna have to come up in front of the rail and stand or sit.
Before this session is over, 9 more teens will lose their driver's licenses.
No, you cannot get a limited permit to go to school or work. You cannot drive for 6 months.
Judge Tracy Gladden is presiding
I need your license.
and taking away driver's licenses. 16-year-old Eric Bayless lost his license in Clayton County too.
I was going down the interstate, and I was going about 97 miles an hour, and it's 65, so I was 32 over.
But Eric lost more than his license.
I had a girlfriend for a while, but once I lost my license, you know, it kind of went down after that.
And now, his mom does the driving.
You know, in high school, people don't like their parents taking them places and stuff.
And Eric has learned a lesson that will make a lasting impression.
I could have killed me or the person that was in the car with me, so it was definitely the wrong thing to be doing and stuff, so I'm not ever going to do it again. All right, make sure you're here at 1 to pick me up. Bye.
Georgia's new driving laws are taking thousands of teen drivers off the roads. The law is known as the Teenage and Adult Driver Responsibility Act, or House Bill 681 for short. If you want to drive in the state of Georgia, you better know what it means and obey what it says.
If you're under 21 years old, you will lose your license if you're convicted of committing any one of these violations. DUI, hit and run, leaving the scene of an accident, racing, fleeing or attempting to elude police, reckless driving, speeding 24 or more miles per hour over the speed limit, any violation in which 4 points are charged, and attempting to purchase alcohol as a minor. If you lose your license for any of these violations, then you have to pass your driving test again, take a defensive driving course, and pay a restoration fee.
You may think losing your license is the worst thing that can happen to you, but every year in Georgia, more than 200 teenagers lose their lives in car wrecks. Chances are you've known someone, a friend, a relative, or a classmate who was killed in a car accident. The shock is painful. The sorrow is everlasting. But for one Georgia community, the loss is impossible to measure. Hundreds of people are filling the high school football stadium in Edenton, Georgia, but no games will be played here tonight. This crowd isn't coming to cheer. They're coming to mourn.
Shortly after 1 a.m.,
Saturday morning, the peace of Putnam County was broken.
Broken by a horrible accident that was the end of life for John Davis, Jonathan Gordon, Tony Oliver, Brian Yance, and Jason Hardy.
There were about 6 firemen here and 3 of my deputies.
In 23 years of law enforcement, Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills had never seen a single car accident produce so much death.
This Jeep was turned up sideways, and there was a mass of 5 burned bodies right there, huddled together.
This is all that's left of that Jeep. After running off the road and into a ditch, it was launched into the air.
And then slammed it up against the tree like that.
What used to be just another shade tree is a roadside memorial, a place for friends to remember, a place for families to mourn. 5 Putnam County families mourn the loss of a son now. Jason Hardy was the son of Richard and Julie, the first parent to learn their boy was dead.
I've had some people I was real close to that have passed away, and it affected me, but nothing like my child. It just ain't even on the same page.
Richard Hardy does his best to stay focused on his farm now.
It's just I think about him because I miss him so much.
But his chores rarely block his memories of Jason.
I can remember running around the house with him, scaring him, and I can remember it. I mean, from the very first day he was born. Excuse me.
The Hardy family is even closer now, doing their best to fill the gap left by Jason, who brought so much life to their household, yet seemed to predict his own death in this home video.
But tomorrow might not be here for you.
Jason was a happy member of a happy family. He made it a point to never say goodbye to his mother without a hug, a ritual he somehow forgot the night of his death.
He said he'd either be home by 12, maybe even 11:30, and I thought, well, that's okay. I get a hug tomorrow and whatever.
Sorry. You know how devastating the combination of drinking and driving can be. But did you know there's something else teen drivers do every day that's far more deadly? It kills 3 times as many teenagers and causes 4 times as many accidents. Keep doing this, and your license could be gone in a flash. Trooper Mike Kenzie may have saved 4 lives when he pulled over this car full of teenagers.
Is there any kind of reason why you're running this fast? You don't know how fast you're running? 80. I checked you at 102.
Trooper Kenzie knows how dangerous speeding really is.
This is what's causing problems. This is what's getting people killed. Running 102 miles an hour down the road with no seatbelts on and drinking, that's not any way to conduct business, and especially not in the state of Georgia.